This podcast is part of Another Happy Studios,
the home of podcasts with passion.
Hello and welcome once again to Talking Pictures Podcast. I'm your host David and joined with me, as always, my co-host Brian. Brian, how are you today?
Pal, how about Elliot Page as Achilles?
Elliot Page was not Achilles.
How about Helena Troy, man? Tell you, should have been her Odyssey. She's practically the main character.
I don't like this. I don't like what you're doing. Stop feeding the trolls.
I'm feeding the trolls because I'm trying to rage bait them. I'm rage baiting them because what I've just said is factually incorrect. But I think it's funny that these were problems created because these cunts didn't want what I said to be. Elliot Page is a character in the movie. Helena Troy, Lupita Nyong'o, yeah, still gorgeous. Yeah. And 5 minutes screen time.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like this negative route that you've already started us on, where you're feeding these trolls.
How am I feeding them though? I'm kind of
just by referencing it at all.
Fun of them.
Okay, that's all right. Yeah, if you didn't watch this movie or you hate this movie because Elliot Page is a character that's in the movie or Lupita Nyong'o is in the movie, Brian
thinks you're funny.
Brian thinks you fuck off. How about that? Don't listen to this episode. See you later, pals. We're here to talk about Christopher Nolan's newest film, which is The Odyssey. Before we talk about The Odyssey, Brian, have you got any trailers this week for us?
Ooh. 1 second.
And Brian forgot to do his homework.
Sorry, man. I'm trying to reverse The Odyssey here, man.
Sorry, yeah, I gotta get back to Ithaca. Ithaca needs its king. I gotta get there.
Trying to fend off Robert Pattinson. Have you seen that six-pack? Them bat ears. I had a quick scan there on what was released in the past week there. A lot of trailers just came out. And I'm hoping that you watched most of them, if not all, because, well, I'll just pick the easiest one. Alright, I think for one tentpole film for this year that we're talking about right now, I'll do a trailer of the week for another one. Avengers Doomsday. I
did watch the Avengers Doomsday trailer, yeah. I thought with the original, those little 1 minute trailers that they put out in December, that would be enough, that's all I would watch.
That's all the visual content you would need. You don't want to know anymore. You don't want to see any more environments, settings, rooms filled with characters, and all of a sudden, oh, okay, I know this character from this movie is going to come face to face with that other character there,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I thought that would be enough, but I think as the months have gone on, my interest has dwindled again and again and again. And so when this trailer came out, I was like, will I watch it or not? And then I went, you know what, yeah, I will watch it. And I'm glad I did watch it because it's very much just a character's introductions, kind of a base setup for people to say like, hey, look, there's a new Avengers movie coming out, but there's no plot details within it. There's no
explanation of how the characters from former X-Men movies are all of a sudden here. There's no explanation how the Fantastic Four end up in the 616 universe. There's no establishment of who Avengers is actually the real one between Bucky and Sam's. There's no clear-cut establishment of why are the Fantastic Four the ones meeting the Wakandans. You know? Like it's all about, this is what's happening, this scene happens here, this scene will happen, this shot in this moment it will happen here, like Gambit facing off Shang-Chi, Mystique fighting Yelena, things like that, you know. Like,
but that all seems to me like it's all first act stuff. It's going to be like when the Guardians came across Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Doctor Strange, like that initial, like, I suppose, a misunderstanding more than anything, really.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely, no doubt about it. They're all gonna, have their squabbles here and there, but they're gonna throw each other digs. But at the end of the movie, they will be fighting together.
Yeah. So I think it's a perfectly serviceable and good first trailer to just kind of whet the appetite of there's an Avengers movie coming. I'm looking forward to it. It's cool to see some of those characters interact. It's cool to see some of those characters back. Like, just that little bit of mystique changed into Florence Pugh.
Probably
is pretty cool.
Probably my favorite moment of the trailer. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's better than the Doom reveal. It's better than the Doom accent.
I like the Doom accent. I like what Robert Downey Jr. is doing to kind of separate himself from Iron Man. So
it's kind of like one of those things where we know Robert Downey Jr. We know his character. We know he's a good actor. But now all of a sudden he's coming back to play a pivotal character fans have always wanted to see. And we were always trying to predict who's going to play Doom. And some fans feel like it's a cheat that, no, we wanted a fresh face to play him, like Mads Mikkelsen.
A fresh face, yeah.
Yeah, I
that
know,
hasn't
right?
been in the MCU. Yeah.
I know that's a mockery on some fans who are a little bit dimmer on the left side and the right. But I think he's going to do a great job as Doom because he is, yes, a great actor. To just see his Oscar win, practically the second best. He was the second best performance in Oppenheimer. So I like it. I like the look of it. I like that there's a focus on Thor, and then obviously the shine the keys at us with
Jingle jingle.
Chris Evans at the end. Still questioning the selection of X-Men characters they chose to bring in, and the ones they apparently did not bring in, as well as the absence of Doctor Strange, Peter Parker, Peter Quill, Bruce Banner. Where are these characters?
Yeah. Well, like I said, this seems like it's all first act stuff. They got to keep some surprises under wraps, I think. So, listen, we're not that far out from it. This is now we're in August now, pretty much, when this episode releases. So, August, September, October, November, December. Like, it's coming. Doomsday is coming. So,
yeah, man, see that countdown?
Yeah, we'll be talking about it. I actually saw the Coyote versus Acme trailer, and at the end of that, it was like 30 days. It parodied the countdown. I was like, okay, this is pretty funny.
Hopefully that's a good movie as well.
Because Avengers movies and Marvel is getting parodied all the time. Because the fact that they're parodying the trailers now, and then you're constantly seeing so-and-so will return in Avengers. Yeah. It's getting memed out of it, so.
I'm sure the Spaceballs sequel is parodying Star Wars left, right and centre.
That's always... What do you think Spaceballs is? Spaceballs is a parody of Star Wars.
There's only 2 movies, though. This is only the second Spaceball movies.
Yeah, but what do you think Spaceballs is a parody of?
Star Wars.
Yeah, so you're saying, the second one is parodying Star Wars? Yeah, that's what it is.
Sorry for throwing in an inclusion there. I'll make sure not to do that again. Thanks, David.
Brian, we're not here today to talk about Avengers Doomsday. We're here today instead to talk about Christopher Nolan's newest film, which is The Odyssey.
Did you ever think about the titles of Christopher Nolan movies?
No.
No, I did. Probably the dyslexia in me. Inception, Interstellar, Dunkirk, Tenet, Oppenheimer, The Odyssey.
Memento,
exactly. Insomnia. The Prestige. The only other one that has that's not a franchise. Do you know? The only generic one really is Batman Begins. There's just something about his titles for each one of his movies. It's like, yeah, I've chosen this title for a very specific reason. Like, it means so much. Or it could mean very little, but overall it could thematically mean something. I'm just saying this because I probably forgot to say it when we were doing Oppenheimer 2 years ago. 3 years ago. Jesus, 3 years ago. Anyway, just wanted to throw that in there. What do you think of The Odyssey?
I genuinely, Brian, I was like, where is he going with this? Where is he going? Christopher Nolan picks titles that either mean something or don't mean anything. Okay, yeah. He picks one-word titles. Is that where you were going with that? And you've been sitting on that for 3 years?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you got that off your chest.
Okay, but like, go back to Tenet. What the hell does Tenet mean?
I don't know.
No, you don't?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
I don't remember.
Neither do I, yeah. Anyway.
What do you think of The Odyssey, Brian?
I asked you that.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. I tell you what, right?
Yeah?
It's. I think that the world suffers from, not the world, I think that the film community suffers from whatever Christopher Nolan's newest film is the best thing that they've ever seen. And it's absolutely flawless. I really enjoyed The Odyssey, but I don't think it's his best film. And I think that if I watch it a second time, I will enjoy it more. But for me, it's not nearly his best film. I think that he's done a lot better with a lot of other stuff. Okay. I just think that he's just kind of overhyped for me. And I try and, while I love him, like all of those movies that you mentioned there are fantastic. I don't think there's any bad movies in his catalogue.
His worst movie could still be better than someone else's best movie.
Absolutely, yeah. I think for me, his worst film is Tenet, and that's not to say that Tenet's a bad film, but it's the one I like the least. But I think that he gets overglazed because of who he is, if that makes sense. Just like, because he's Christopher Nolan, because he has this catalogue of great work, that means that everything he does is his best work.
Yeah, well, we're only human. Like, anytime a Christopher Nolan movie comes out, we do have to overhype it. We do have to get involved. And then we have to battle with the far rights who are complaining about it. But when you said that people can be a victim of thinking, his newest movie is his best one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a victim of that, because when Dunkirk came out, I loved it so much, but I knew it was missing something, and the more the years go on, I just realised, it's just definitely not my favourite. It's a great film, it's a great piece of art. I love how he's incorporated his interpretation of time, as I feel like he always does in his movies.
It's a huge element throughout every single one of his films. Like
bar his Batman movies.
Bar his Batman movies. Yeah, those ones, while they are great as well, they don't fit into the normal Christopher Nolan catalogue.
No.
Like, Christopher Nolan did superhero films.
Yeah.
And he elevated the superhero genre. Like, the superhero genre is what it is today because of what Christopher Nolan did. But I wouldn't, even though, yes, they are part of his catalogue, when I think, a Christopher Nolan film, I'm thinking of those other ones that you mentioned, the one-word title ones.
It got to the point where he had to make the third Batman movie because he had to complete a trilogy. Do you know? Like, he's like, fine. Like, I know I just did Inception, but like, I suppose I have to go back and do the Dark Knight Returns or the Dark Knight Rises, and but really I'm just looking forward to doing my Interstellar movie. But another movie, Tenet, I agree, very much highly anticipation when it was coming out, and it was a letdown as far as a Christopher Nolan movie, and definitely a few issues with the audio. But man, when Oppenheimer came out, like, took the world by storm for me, and I feel like the Odyssey is doing the same here. Like, I can't wait to go back to watch the Odyssey.
Like Oppenheimer blew me away. I would say I was looking forward to Oppenheimer the same amount as I was the Odyssey, but I came out of that being like, okay, when can I see this movie again? As opposed to the Odyssey is like, okay, yeah, I probably will see it again. Do you know, that kind of way?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. Like, it's Christopher Nolan. Like, he's never. I don't think he'll ever do a Tenet move again. Like, I think the issues he had in Tenet, whereas, you know,
but Tenet, I don't think that's not fair to say, because Inception could have been perceived as a Tenet. It just depends on how a movie is perceived, because like it's technically executed incredibly well. Like, but it is very high concept, but that's just because, like, no, sorry, the bad press of it all, or not the bad press, but like how it's received, is just that I think that it is a complicated film that people didn't get. But that could easily be said for Inception. Like, there is a way that Inception comes out and people go like, I just don't get it. It's just too complicated.
I think people were like that when it did first come out, but then obviously the more time passes on.
But I think that's the same with Tenet then. The more time passes on, people actually like Tenet a lot more.
All right,
that's the same with me. I remember coming out and I was like, this is a bit of a miss. But as we go on, I like it more.
But do you see yourself watching Tenet again?
I watched it recently enough, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, in the last couple of months, actually.
I don't see myself watching it anytime soon.
It's not my first pick. Yeah, no, that's fair. But
hey, look, I think it's a great move for him to go from Oppenheimer, which is definitely his most ambitious project, to be nominated for Best Picture, and it actually won. It's like, if any one of Christopher Nolan's movies were to win Best Picture, it would have been Oppenheimer. And now he's gone and done the Odyssey, something akin to the likes of Spartacus or
Lawrence of Arabia
or Ben-Hur.
Yeah,
these kind of movies that were breaking barriers back in the 1950s and 1960s.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden here's Christopher Nolan doing his version of it, you know, like a movie
for the modern day. Yeah,
for the modern day, like the Ten Commandments. Like, if anything, like he I think he's done it now. Like, he's done his modern day version of a space odyssey in Interstellar. Like, I'm not saying it's a yin and yang comparison, but it's like, it's his space opera movie.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And now he's done his drama movie in Oppenheimer, and now he's done his fantasy epic.
Yeah, like, it is good that he is able to shift genres completely.
Yeah.
Like, he is able to do the superhero films, or he is able to do like a straight up time travel film, or he is able to do high sci-fi and then biopics
and thrillers, like Insomnia
and thrillers,
and
now he is going and doing a historical fantasy.
Yeah,
and he knocks it out of the park. Like, there's no genre that he couldn't go into. There's actually a genre that I would really like to see him go into, and that was kind of layered throughout this movie as well. There were certain scenes where I was like, I need to see this.
I think folks are now clamoring, and they're kind of being teased with it now, with Christopher Nolan saying, oh yeah, I'd like to try this. Horror.
Yeah, that's exactly it, yeah.
Yeah, so here, go if he can come up with a great idea for horror, go for it. But some horror movies, no, I take it back. All horror movies kind of leave me in such a way like it's a means to an end. Like, I feel like with a lot of horror movies, there is no life going on after it. It's maybe the best description I can give you is, when I watch a horror movie, I know I'm watching a horror movie. But when I'm watching maybe any other given movie directed by Christopher Nolan, I'm watching something special. I suppose if you put two horror movies in front of me that came out recently, Weapons and Obsession, I would view Weapons more as a higher elevated movie that I would think Christopher Nolan would aim for, rather than a gross, grimy, blood-fueled, bodily fluid on display type of horror. Like, I don't think he'll go drastic horror. And I know Weapons is not like an exact horror.
Well, that's the thing about horror, is that there's so many different genres within the horror genre.
Yeah.
You can have the blood and the guts and the gore,
Yeah.
or you can have elevated horror, which is what Weapons is, or even something like Obsession. Like, I wouldn't even describe Weapons as a horror movie, even though it is. But it's a creepy, unsettling movie as opposed to horror. Like, I was never scared throughout it, but I was tense throughout, and I was like, I was nervous.
But like, maybe I'm just talking shy. Maybe he'll do great in that. I would just like, I think it's you said high concept sci-fi for Christopher Nolan. I would like him to deliver on his high concept capabilities in a horror movie.
Yeah,
do you know?
me too.
Like, I want to know of the world that exists when he creates a horror movie.
Yeah.
You know, just like how he's captured the world in the Odyssey. All of a sudden now we're going home and we're saying to each other, the law of Zeus. When have you ever heard of that?
No, never. But I could see it definitely being a term used in the vernacular of our friend group, where like we'll walk into our friend's house and it's like, "Are you not going to offer me a drink? Law of Zeus? No?
Yeah.
Jeez, okay.
But
I could be a god. You never know. I could be Zeus."
But you see, that's the thing. Like, already Christopher Nolan has established an establishment in the Odyssey, in the world of Greek mythology, you know? And I mean, like, even mentioning other things like Sparta. Oh yeah, 300. You know, where's the non-connection there? You know, that I as a fan can force them. You know, and disregard Troy altogether. That's thrown out the window. You know, Troy's fiction compared to this. I know it is fiction as well, but still, like, things happen in Troy that do not reflect the Odyssey. But yeah,
I think that honestly, Troy is actually a good companion to watch before the Odyssey.
it is a good companion, and I think the best thing that is reflected in both movies, and I to this day still believe, and I'm glad Christopher Nolan depicted this as well. You can go into it later the more as we go on, but it's that the sacking of Troy, the vile execution of the citizens of Troy that Agamemnon and Achilles and Odysseus do onto the city, that is like Israel and what it's doing to Palestine.
Yeah, that Odysseus and Agamemnon and Achilles are the villains.
They are the villains.
Yes, we are following them, but they are the villains. They launched into this city and killed people, and there was a complete disregard for human life.
And as the histories depict it, they are the victors in this. Troy gets slaughtered. It's like an entire species, an entire people just get vaporized into nothing. And that was always something I thought, like, in the back of my mind, not that I was conscious about. Brian, when you go watch the Odyssey, make sure that you keep an eye out on how Christopher Nolan depicts the sacking of Troy. It's like, no, but it's always something that has lingered in the back of my mind, that this is on the side of the villains. Like, Agamemnon should be the villain. Do you know?
He is, yeah.
He is the villain in Troy, essentially.
I think of him as the villain here as well.
Yeah, but he's a villain, but he's not the villain.
Well, who's the villain?
No, there's no exact Robert Pattinson, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, see, I think that there's two different stories going on. There's Odysseus' journey, and there's Tom Holland's character's journey. What's his character's name? Themistocles, yeah. We're going to butcher these names, so it might be just easier to reference the actors' names in some instances. But there's those two stories, and Robert Pattinson is definitely Tom Holland's villain. But I think Agamemnon is the villain. I suppose he's He's not. Yeah, I get what you're saying. He's not the villain, but he is the bad guy of Odysseus' story, because he's the one that pulls Odysseus from his home and makes him go to war. Like, they're on that beach for 10 years before the sacking of Troy. They're already there for such a long time. He's already away from his family for 10 years. Even before the film starts, he sacrifices his child for good winds.
Yeah.
So that their ships can sail well. Like, and that's his ultimate downfall, is that when he goes back, his wife murders him.
But definitely not how it happens in Troy, but I wonder, is that more of how it's supposed to be in history? I don't know.
I don't know. I've not read the book. I'm not going to pretend
so.
as though I'm going to read it either.
But I do like the idea that his misfortune was that he did go home, you know, whereas Odysseus' misfortune is that he's not gone home yet.
Well, that's the thing that we...
Agamemnon got home and died years before Odysseus even was left alone on his journey, before his crew was left, you know, like that's so frightening. And then how many years later it took for Menelaus, John Berthold's character, to get home as well.
Yeah,
it's so crazy that this whole time it's like, you still trying to get home yet?
Yeah.
Do you not have Google Maps?
The thing with that is that, and it's kind of explained like later on in the film as well, is that Odysseus broke Zeus's law. And so I suppose John Bernthal is kind of the caveat to what I'm about to say, where he's the exception to the rule. But it feels like because they broke Zeus's law, it's like no one can go home. No one can have a peaceful life after it. And I think Odysseus, like, his punishment is that he doesn't die. Like, that everyone around him dies and he's the one that has to survive and has to live it. And so it takes him so long to get home, but even the people that do get home are killed, like Agamemnon. Now, maybe it's just because it was Odysseus and Agamemnon's plan to do it. So maybe the gods held Agamemnon just as accountable to breaking Zeus's law as they did Odysseus.
Maybe the gods just didn't view Agamemnon as worthy of anything. Do you know? Like, it's kind of funny to think that Agamemnon, everyone bends the knee as soon as you might think he entered the room. Do you know? Like, his whole armor, his helmet, like it's the poster. Do you know? And he was always silent. He never spoke in the scenes he was present in, and then he goes to hug in Odysseus, like, you are my friend, even though you were dirt under my shoe. Do you know? Even John Berthold's looking at him, was like, you know, good sailing with you. And
that's his brother.
I know John Berthold and Benny Safdie are supposed to be brothers in the movie, but John Berthold was older. Agamemnon was supposed to be older in the movie. But Agamemnon, I really like his casting in it, because there's just something about his presence. He's got a commanding stance, you know? I know the armor complemented it, and I like how you never really see his face.
No, I think that's what makes him so imposing, is that you don't see his face, and he is just this cold. It's kind of like how you just see Darth Vader's suit. Like, you see the suit and you know, oh, I need to be afraid of that guy. Yeah. So you see Agamemnon come in, and like when the gates of Troy open and he's just standing there as an imposing figure and raises his arm, and the whole army swarms in after, and it's like, Jesus, like, that feels like the door opening and Darth Vader just standing there, and you're like, oh, I'm fucked.
Apparently Matt Damon didn't realise that was going to be coming in through the gates. So it's good that Christopher Nolan's able to maintain some level of realism in his actors' expressions and their reactions. But when Agamemnon, even the short little snippets of him coming home, and his servants take off his helmet, and you just see his black dashing curly hair, as any traditional Greek man would look. And then he, you know, lays bed, oh, wife, I missed you. And then he gets a knife to the throat by a vicious Lupita, and you even get a 1 second, not even cut to his face, and it's not even a good reveal of his face, you know, and you just see him gurgling blood, and then that's it. So we all knew that he died when Tom Holland and John Berthold met. I know we're kind of jumping all over the place, but
that's it's an Odyssey, man. Don't worry.
But my favorite probably moment in Odysseus' journey is when he goes to Hades. Yeah. And everyone just crawls out of the ground. We could talk about Elliot Page in a minute, but when they say Agamemnon's here, it's like, what? Our ruler, our king is dead, and what, they bend the knee still when he just comes out of the ground, and he just bends down and is like, yeah, don't worry about it. You know, like, I am nothing here. I am literally a number next to this crowd.
Yeah.
I am nothing to the gods as soon as I kick the bucket.
It feels like once they're in Hades, they kind of, there's no inhibitions or anything like that, or there's no false facades or anything like that, because yes, Agamemnon was the king, but as soon as he's there, tastes the blood and he can speak, and he's chatty Cathy. He's just like, it's just his soul is just going to have the conversation. There's no bravado or anything like that. It's like, oh, Odysseus asked me a question, I'll answer the question. Like, I'm not going to hide anything, I'm not going to hold anything back.
Yeah, there's no emotions to it. It's real matter of fact about it. But it's matter of fact that he would never have had if he was alive.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah.
He might have thought everything he could think, but he'll never say it. He'll never reveal it in front of everyone. He has a reputation to keep.
Exactly.
The reputation's completely gone as soon as he's dead. He's just here. It's like, oh, hey, Odysseus. And when he's just talking to him there, he still has the helmet on, and you can see him a little bit more clearly.
Yeah.
He's speaking so normally. He's a nothing now. And then the little shot of him like retreating back behind the crowd, as if he's on like some sort of like roller, like he's just, you know, Christopher Nolan tells him, stand still there while we'll have the remote wheel you back in. It's like, your feet don't work, you're just standing still, you're levitating, you're floating.
Well, that adds to your point as well, of the fact that he's just a number, like, because he's the king, and he finishes his conversation with Odysseus, and he gets back in line. It's not like he stands there at the front of the army anymore. He's like, I'm just going to go back to where I was.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, whereas, could you imagine the king Agamemnon doing that? No, absolutely not. Like, I'm just going to be dispersed here. You won't even actually see me amongst them. It's only when I step forward to go, oh, here's Agamemnon. Whereas previously, he is standing at the front. It's like, you are seeing him, and you are noticing, and you are taking note. Here he is. Here is the king.
And it's him who's retreating back as well. It's like, he doesn't even turn around, and the lads in front of him like
move out of the way. Yeah, he just backs into it. Yeah,
it's so it's unspoken greatness. I think I really love it. Where do you want to go here? Would you want to go with?
See, there's so many aspects to the Odyssey that, like, the journey itself, like it
kind of feels like a bit of what you could get in a video game.
Yeah, there's so many sections, and there's so many like
boss levels
that he went through that you kind of I wasn't aware of what we were going to see or who we were going to meet or anything like that, other than the Cyclops. That was the only thing I was aware of, really, of I suppose not a trial, but like some kind of thing that they have to overcome.
Yeah.
So I was glad that there were so many different things that happened that make this an Odyssey. But I suppose I would like to quickly, rather than going in depth into anything, just like we did with Agamemnon, I would like to talk very quickly about two things that I actually really liked. The fact that, yes, it is a mythological story, and like these things are like unexplainable, but the soldiers that Odysseus comes upon, the ones that are 7 foot tall, and they like meet someone that's their height, and it's a child that's crying, and he runs back.
A child is a human height, human level, an average height of a human.
Yeah, and then not only those soldiers, but the monster that takes 6 of the crew while they're on the ship. And I don't know why, I really love the restraint of Christopher Nolan to not explain it. There is no explanation as to either of those things. They just happened. That was just another thing on the quest that they came across, and like the monster itself, that he kind of
this rock monster that appeared next to the whirlpool.
Like, not even like Odysseus didn't even know that was going to happen. He just knew something was going to happen. I'm going to lose 6 crew, and so it's like just unexplained, and it's just all over the place. You're like, what just happened? I felt like I was in the shoes of the crew, where they didn't know what just happened, and neither do I. I'm like, what was that?
Yeah.
There is no explanation.
What did you think it was?
Well, in the same way that they stumbled across the Cyclops, like, I thought it was just a monster that inhabited this world. Like, they could have very easily come across a Kraken and had to fight that as well. Like, I just felt, it seemed to me like this world, while it is a very realistic world, the mythology of it all also very much take place. Like they could have bumped into Medusa and some of the soldiers turned into stone or something like that. Anything was possible within this world.
I thought it was going to be a Kraken. I remember one of the trailers, something takes one of the crew through the sails, and I thought, oh, is that like a 3-headed dragon or something like that? No, it's. I looked this up, I googled it, and I don't know how true this is. This is like, this is the saying where you're caught between a rock and a hard place. You're better off going to the hard place because the rock's going to kill you. It looked like these tentacles appearing as rocks comes out of this, like,
just a cavern within the mountainside, yeah.
Yeah, or like this like a spore. A spore. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. And yeah, it just takes a few of them there. Like, oh, what's this? I thought it was going to be more. I thought it was going to be more of a battle, like onto a Kraken. I thought there was going to be more to do with the whirlpool. I thought that, oh, cool. Like, I'd like to see them try to navigate out of this, but they just completely avoid it. And they knew they had to because they aren't going to get out of it. But with the giants you mentioned, though, I thought, had to be realistic, there's no fighting them.
No.
But I do like the idea that if anything appears in this movie that is not explained, it's definitely them on the poster of that. Like, these, what are these? Like, can they take their helmets off? Are they normal humanoid?
Because even the child was in armor.
Yeah, but the child looked normal, like a human. If these guys take their helmets off, will they just have average looking faces?
Yeah, or are they monstrous? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, were they distorted faces, were like long nosed, like with slightly smaller heads compared to their gigantic bodies. Their armor is like impeccable, as if they were sent down by the gods. Do you know?
Yeah.
I'm not even going to bother to pronounce the name, like Lesterigians or something like that. And that's what they were. And I do know there's footage out there of someone saying, yeah, this is in the movie, Odysseus comes across them and we're not going to explain who they are. You want to know who they are, you can look them up in books. I think maybe they're depicted in this movie differently than how they are told to be, but they're just a moment. But Jesus Christ, I didn't think they were going to take out 2 of the 3 ships.
Yeah,
like,
they really reduced the numbers down.
Yeah, they do much more of an impact than the Cyclops or Circe or even the Rock Monster. You know, like, then these guys, like, there's no fighting them, just run.
Yeah,
you know,
insurmountable odds, really. Like, they come along and it's like immediately, like, you see them, you're like, let's get out of here. Like, there's no point even trying.
But there's no, like, reasoning. There's no communicating. They just come up and just start killing them.
Yeah.
They start attacking them. For no other reason. It's a great design. Like, it's a great poster as well. Do you know that the Matt Damon had a female stunt person?
Yeah. And she was the one that was the body double, I suppose. If you get 7-foot men, you got to get stunt doubles that are smaller again to really emphasize their height.
And then I'm sure you'd have to do, like, the frame conception where what they do in the Lord of the Rings, where they have someone in
force perspective.
Force perspective. That's what I was trying to remember. But yeah, it was a great sequence. But I think I was definitely looking forward to this. I just want to see how to execute it, because this is all I've seen in the market is the Cyclops. They built a
giant puppet. Yeah.
How tall do you think it was?
9 or 10 feet. It must have been longer, higher than that.
It had to have been taller than that.
Yeah.
Like, it's a puppet, but then they also have a stuntman in there, a body double. Bill Irwin plays the stand-in. He voiced Tarj or Case in Interstellar. You mentioned this earlier, and I think everyone notices it, but not everyone's going to bring it up. It's how his eye is on his face.
Yeah.
Traditional Cyclops has a normal eye like you and me have, but this guy's eye is torted.
See, if you look at his face, because I was actually kind of looking this up after we watched the movie, when you think of a normal Cyclops, like, you look at, like, Leela from Futurama.
Yeah. Like,
one eye in the middle, and that's it. And anytime you kind of translate that to a live action person, it just looks off, because when you think about your face, you've got the bridge of your nose and 2 eyes on either side of it. But if you take your bridge of your nose and you just put an eye above that, like, what's the bridge of the nose there for? Like, you're not separating 2 eyes, so it just, and your eye becomes your forehead. It looks so off. So if you look at that Cyclops, his face he's not actually a Cyclops. He has 1 eye, but his whole face is lopsided. So his nose is kind of contorted to be sideways, and he actually does have another eye that's just forcibly closed. and then his other eye has had to compensate, and so that's bigger because he doesn't have the, his I think it's his right eye.
Yeah.
So even though he is a Cyclops, he's not actually a Cyclops. He's just someone that's kind of malformed, and he's like, it's just a great way to have this mythological creature, but also ground it in a reality of like, oh, I can see where his face should be. I see what's going on here, but yet he is this monstrous form.
He, at the end of the day, he is humanoid.
He
Limbs,
is.
arms, leg, torso,
And you know what? He was just a farmer. He was just living on that island, tending to his sheep and having his cheese. And then these guys come in and start stealing his cheese, which under Zeus's right, technically, Zeus's law, they do have a right to have some cheese. But the Cyclops, he lives on that island. He doesn't know no gods. He doesn't, follow these rules, or he doesn't do anything. So when these guys are in here, it's like, guess what? They're my property now.
Do you know what makes me feel bad? It's on top of what you just said. He comes into the cave. He's not coming in there to lord him. He's going home and he's shutting the door.
Yeah, and going to sleep.
And he's motioning the sheep to come in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, you're just a humble...
He's a shepherd, yeah.
You're just a humble lad.
Mm.
He did attack first, though. He did pick up the...
These guys invaded his home. He was defending his home. I'm on the side of the Cyclops here.
I kind of am as well. Not so much at the start, because he did definitely initiate it. But I suppose, would you talk to ants?
There's so many great aspects with the Cyclops. Like
there's so you could do a half an hour standalone video of the Cyclops, because obviously he's existed in other material before. He is the son of Poseidon.
Yeah.
But
do you know what he said? So when they poke his eye out,
yeah.
I know what he says.
Tell me, because I'm in the dark on this.
When the soldiers poke his eye out,
when Odysseus pokes his eye,
yeah. Well, he wakes him up, and then the guys shove the thing into his eye. When they poke his eye out, he like sits up and he's
his back turned.
He's his back turned. He's calling to Poseidon. He's praying, and he's saying, "Father, they took my eye out. Father, please, vengeance, vengeance on them."
Huh? How do you know that?
I looked it up. I saw a video and I listened. I was able to actually specifically listen to see what I could hear him say. I couldn't hear exactly those words, but I saw this is what he said, and then I could hear the vengeance definitely.
So he's definitely he's obviously aware his father's Poseidon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But like, is he abandoned there? Is he left to live on alone?
I think he's the only one on that island with his sheep. I think that he's like, he can't live in normal society. Like, the closest society he could live in is with the 7-foot soldiers, and I assume he goes to that island and he's gonna get absolutely destroyed. Like, they're gonna attack him just as much as Odysseus and his army did.
Yeah.
But it's Odysseus that when they leave, when he turns around and shoots him with the arrow, like, that's what sets them. That's what I think is what causes Poseidon to be like, okay, you know what, actually, fuck you. Fuck you, Odysseus. Like, because they're away. He's scot-free. There's no need to do that. It's hubris. It's.
He shot the arrow at him because the Cyclops spat something out.
A helmet.
A helmet. I don't think the Cyclops did that intentionally. Like,
he's not doing it as an insult.
He could literally just be picking his teeth or coughing something up.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there in his cave. He's if he can still see, he's staring down at these things. Just get out of my home.
Yeah.
Get away. And like, imagine you had intruders in your home, and you're defending yourself, and then you're completely injured, and then
think about it from the Cyclops perspective. You have ants in your home, and you wake up and you're blind. They blind you,
and then you go out, get out of here, out, and then you're staring them off, and then one ant stares back at you and shoots you in the face with an arrow. Oh, that really angered them, and then
I'm going to get these guys. Yeah. I'm killing them. Fuck them. I tried to be nice, but no. That's, yeah. So when we said earlier that I really want to see him do horror movies, this is the reason why. Like, the Cyclops screaming and muttering to itself, all this kind of stuff. That's what was. It really had me tense. Of like, I'm actually scared for these guys. Like, what is?
Not scared what the Cyclops will do, but scared what is going to happen to these guys once they escape here.
No, I'm scared of seeing this giant monster on the IMAX screen. Like, is he going to reach out of this screen and just fucking get us? Like, because it just felt so real. I just felt like I was in it. I was in the moment with Nolan. He had put me in there. He put me in the cave with those guys.
Christopher Nolan made a giant look normal.
Yeah.
He looked he looked normal, but a giant. Like, I know that is Bill Irwin standing in there, probably in some sort of motion capture, but he's just so present with these guys. I don't know how he's done it. Like, even when he's sitting down and then the Cyclops' hand is like arched over and the guys are trying to crawl under it and get out. Like, that giant hand it feels real. And then to even make it more haunting, when he's chasing them, and these guys are running down bushes and rocks and cliffs all the way down to the mountain. They're running back to the boats. And when they're like, these guys could not have gotten on the boats any faster than they needed to be. Like, and then one of the guys are like trying to edge themselves over the side, while at the far side of the frame you can still see the Cyclops lingering ever closer. You know, like it's not a cutaway shot to the Cyclops still coming. It's Matt Damon trying to get onto the boat, and at the far right side of the screen you can see the Cyclops still coming. And yeah, like, I mean, it's horror executed very, very well.
Yeah,
that's brilliant. There's a lot of running back to the boat moments, isn't there, in this?
There is a good few, yeah. Like, because, yeah, they just, anywhere they land, it's not safe. They're encountering perils no matter where they are, really.
Yeah. And they have to make land because they need to get food, do you know?
Yeah.
And look what happens when they do come across food.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't trust even the little old lady.
I knew this actress was going to be in this movie. I didn't know what she was going to be, and I didn't know, okay, great, this is going to be like the first surprise for me. Because I knew about the Cyclops, I knew the giants were going to be there. I didn't know what this was going to be. And, you know, I was afraid for Odysseus, because, is this a mutiny? No, only if you want it to be. It's like his men, after 2 encounters, after 10 years of Troy, they're now starting to like stand up for themselves and make decisions for themselves. Yeah. And telling Odysseus what to do.
And don't forget, it's like, I can kind of see it from the crew's perspective as well, where they're lost because of Odysseus. Because he's like, let's go a different route than Agamemnon. Like, Agamemnon's gone home and has died in the time that they haven't even, at this point, they haven't even gone to Hades yet. They don't even know that Agamemnon's dead.
Yeah, I think, I know Hades was my favourite scene, but like, I think this was more horrifying than the Cyclops. The Cyclops was traditional horror.
This is again, yeah, that the Cersei scene adds to the horror aspect of it, because even like the body horror of it all, like when she's molding these guys into their pig forms, like this was done practically as well. This wasn't effects. I looked it up, and there was some animatronics involved on set, and the
crushing the faces, a man's face in together, making stouts. And you know, the pig's noses, essentially. Like, wow, just obviously obscurely so well enhanced in post production, but like that's a thing you can physically touch. It's a standout moment here, because I obviously I did a bit more looking up into this. She's doing this to these guys because it's years has passed since Troy, and everyone knows what happened at Troy. These men, these swine, pillaged and sacked and murdered thousands of innocents. And
they even did it to a village as well on their way. Like when they were just looking for supplies. Just like a no-name village that they just...
I completely forgot about that.
Came along and set fire to.
Yeah, that's a near blink and you miss it. You go to the toilet in that scene, you don't know that happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, these guys...
That adds to later on when Odysseus is talking to Penelope and he reveals, like, yeah, we are the army from across the sea. These ones that they're hearing all these rumours about, is like, they're coming. They don't follow Zeus's law, and guess what? It's her husband.
That went over my head. I forgot about that scene. Yeah, missed that. But I like that. I like the reveal that Odysseus is hunting, and still he maintains his honour of stringing his bow. Yeah, just to give them a chance, and he still gets the deer. It was a soldier. It was a man. You die in... Like, is that deer still conscious that, wait, no, I used to be a human, or is it completely now just gone an animal? And then you pass all the, like, the lions, the cheetahs, the panthers, all on up the hill. Like, these used to be guys, and then you see all their armor, their shields, their weapons of past soldiers, and the interaction Odysseus has with Cersei. It's a great scene. Everyone's saying Samantha Morton's gonna get a nomination for this moment. Yeah, okay, I guess, but like she's always good at like that. She's always good at playing those type of characters, you know. And I'm glad she got this moment here. I'd like to see her play future I'd like to see in future Nolan movies.
Yeah, I'm curious if the animals that she turns them into, does she have a choice in that? Like, because
she choose the animal.
She chooses them to all be pigs. Is that because she thinks of them as swine, or is like because why is she turning someone into a lion? Like a lion's a pretty dangerous. Like that could kill her. Like, but is that like it's a soldier that came along and was like truly brave of heart and courageous?
Yeah.
Or was there another one that was a deer that was?
I think she's turning them into what they are. So
yeah,
it's like when she's turning them back, go back into your disguises. Go back into, put your.
Yeah, it doesn't say go.
On.
She doesn't say go back to normal. She goes back to your disguises.
Yeah.
Like what you are now is what you truly are.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious is if she thinks you guys are pigs and so she turns them into pigs, or is it something that she would start the process and whatever animal.
Yeah, maybe she learns when she realizes, oh, that's what you're turning into. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And she turned her sister into a crow as well, and she's obviously caring for the crow, but then again, like, what's the backstory there? We get on better this way. It's like, does your sister have a choice in this matter?
No, definitely not.
I like that she's the one who sends them to Hades. Like, she's obviously no more. She's definitely like, a witch in this regard. She reminds me of the witch from Hansel and Gretel stories.
Well, pretty much everyone that they encounter on their trip, on their journey, on their Odyssey is in some way mythical or mythological.
Yeah.
There's no just regular people that they encounter on this journey from the Cyclops onwards.
I thought that James Vermeer, who came up from the ground, he's got his eyes covered. I thought that was Hades himself. I thought it was, but I don't think he actually was.
It would make sense if he was.
It would make sense. He was very harmless. I love the shot where those who renounce and have anger towards Odysseus over because they all died because of him. They all just start running after him,
chase after.
Yeah, definitely that let's go moment in the trailers. It's executed here better, but then
yeah, well, it's given the context in the trailers. It looks as though it's him and his army storming someone else.
Yeah,
but when you watch it in the trailer, it's like he's running from that army.
Yeah. Oh, Elliot Page, Sinon. Someone pointed out he reminded me of the type of character from the Matrix movies, the young guy in the army.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I like that he opened the movie. He was the first person really to see and immediately killed. And then obviously has more screen time. I like that Odysseus just openly admits, yeah, we left you here behind and we didn't tell you that we were inside here and we knew you were going to die. But don't worry, I was there with you the whole time. So what comfort did that give me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
how did I know you were there? It's like, oh no, I was there. It's like, but I didn't know that. Like, there's no comfort in that. You're telling me all after the fact. But
I could have approached this in such a way that I could have survived. Like, life is treated so carelessly in this movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And obviously you have a connection to Robert Pattinson's character. And then this is after that they find the land and there's cattle everywhere, but you can't eat any of it.
Yeah, they're all Apollos. I do like the respect for the gods. I do like, I don't know, Greek mythology. It's one that I'm interested in. I've never like delved into it or anything like that. I know that there's a big push with it with a lot of things, like, but I just like any stories that take place within Greek mythology. Like the gods are very much like to be respected, and it's not just one god. It's not just Zeus. It's all of these different gods, and they're all to be respected, and they all do their things, and they interact nearly with mortals all the time. Like, it's kind of a regular occurrence that you're encountering a god. Or even the fact that Tom Holland's character, that he respects Zeus's law very astutely, and he's like, anyone could be a god in disguise. I really liked that, and I want to ask you something about that later on. Don't let me forget. But it's I just like the pantheon of gods within Greek mythology.
I think it's, to sum it up poorly, or not poorly, but like to put it on in a box, it's great content because there's so many different gods to choose from to make characters out of. Like, if this was going to be milked to death like a superhero genre, there's going to be a Seth MacFarlane animated sitcom where it's Greek gods, and each character is their own. Like, one god's going to be a sex addict, one god is going to have an ego he needs to fulfill, and all of the above. I think I like a pantheon of gods that's more than one. Like, when you look at, say, Greek mythology, or you look at Norse mythology, or
even the gods within the Game of Thrones universe.
Yeah.
Like, there's multiple of all these ones. In our real life, our made-up god we've the one. It's him.
It's quite boring, isn't it?
That one guy.
Yeah.
No, I think I would be more religious if there were, like, multiple gods.
Yeah. Like,
I want a rogues gallery of gods, please.
let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you watched an exciting movie or show or played a thrilling video game that involved our one god Christian based religion?
You couldn't possibly.
And if I shouted out to you Norse or Greek or even the Game of Thrones,
I could name them pretty quick.
Yeah. So there you go.
It's because nobody observes the Greek gods, or no one observes the Norse gods anymore. It's like it's I suppose
forgotten.
It's a forgotten religion, and we've put it down to just being fiction. And I'm sure that in a couple of 100 years, we'll put down Christianity to be just being fiction.
Oh, not a chance.
No. That one's real. Every other religion is false, except for the one that I believe in.
Exactly.
That's the one that's real.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Everything else is just fiction.
I wanted to... So this is the falling point now with these guys, right? They ate the cattle and they thought... I like the line that Odyssey says, like, I tried to save you guys.
Yeah.
I told you, don't eat the cows. You just ate them.
Mm-hmm.
Did you think the gods wouldn't know? And they just said, we just didn't want you to know.
Mm-hmm.
And like they don't care.
Yeah.
So
they're so long into this journey now that it's just like Odysseus is just the enemy. They're just not going to listen to him anymore.
Yeah. But as soon as they were still... I like that they were trapped there. Like it was so easy to get to the island, but now the wind was so against us, we couldn't leave. And they did leave because they were let out on false pretenses, and the storm came. Like both Zeus and Poseidon were against them, the sea and the skies. And then,
well, I think that was, yeah, like Odysseus knew the fate of his crew is to die.
Yeah.
And so at a point it becomes where Poseidon after the Cyclops has asked for vengeance upon them. Like, who do you think created the whirlpool? Poseidon. Who do you think he's the god of the wind and the sea?
Yeah.
So he is pushing the crew, like he's making it so they can't leave. He's putting them in a situation where they will not be able to leave. So he puts them in a situation where, here are the cattle, Apollo's cattle, and they're going to eat Apollo's cattle. So then, presumably up on Mount Olympus, there's Poseidon going, look, Zeus, look what's happened here. They've disrespected this, they've done this, and now they've eaten Apollo's cattle. Like, they need to be dealt with. And this is the point where Zeus goes, okay, yeah, because then Poseidon lets down, he's like, puts them into a false sense of security, sends them out on the sea, and then they go, and then we're just going to hammer them. The wind, the sea, and it's the lightning that gets them, that cracks the ship in half and separates them and finally kills them.
Kills the rest of his crew. And then this is obviously gets to the point where Odysseus is now on his own. And I was actually afraid of this movie when I first, started seeing some marketing. I didn't want this movie to be Matt Damon on his own.
Yeah,
for a long portion.
Yeah, that's how I thought it was going to be. To be honest, yeah,
I didn't. It's very, very minimal at best.
Well, even actually, sorry, before you go into him being on his own, or being with Calypso, I assume that's where you're going.
Yeah,
but we missed out a key part of the journey.
The Sirens.
The Sirens.
I wish there was a little bit more of them. But
the Sirens themselves, or
just maybe
the sequence?
Maybe the sequence.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do love about them, like obviously I wanted to see them a little bit more up close. They look so human, like yet what do they look on when closer observant?
Yeah.
Maybe they do just look like humans. Maybe they're just like the female person, but underneath the water, maybe they're completely different creatures altogether.
Yeah.
There's so many different depictions. I know at the end of the day, the Sirens they lure you in, But
I think that's perfect. I think that the way you've just described it there is exactly how Sirens should be done.
What?
That you're always, I just want to see more. I just want to see a little bit more. Can I? Because that's what a siren is. You want to see more of it. You want to... You probably encounter them. You want to fall for them. And I think that showing them in the foggy... They're up on the cliffs and it's just foggy and you just can't quite see. You can just about make them out. It's like, if I just could see a little bit more, then I'd be satisfied. And it's like, no, you will never be satisfied. No, if he showed you what they'd look like, you wouldn't have been satisfied with it. It's like, could have done more of this, could have done more that way. But that's the same as the sailor. It's like, oh no, I just want to see them. Like, I'm stronger than that. So I think that your criticism, while it's a fair criticism, is the point. I think that you're hitting the nail on the head without realizing it.
Yeah, I see what you're going with. You're probably right. Then that makes me think about the guy who took the wax out of his ear and then to listen in. And he jumped off the ship to go swim towards him, thinking, I gotta see his. he's likely to drown before he ever gets that chance.
Yeah.
He drowns smiling.
Mm-hmm.
That's
the siren song, yeah.
That's haunting.
And I love the description of it as well that Odysseus gives, that it's like, it's the perfect itch that you just know it's going to be the most perfect thing when you scratch it, and then when you finally get there, it's under your skin, so it's unbearable, and that perfect thing has become the worst thing in your life. And like it not only the song is everything you want it to be, it's everything you didn't even realize that you wanted, and it also is everything that you had that you've lost. And it's this whole encapsulation of everything that's good within the world that you can't have. It was like haunting. And when he's like, I think Matt Damon really does a great job in that scene, where because it's silent for us and we can't hear it, that we only have to go off his reaction, and it's that euphoria that he has right at the beginning, and that slowly turns to pain of him screaming that he can't get at it, he can't have what he wants. It's really, really well acted.
He faints after.
And
I
he's
was
so overcome with all of these emotions. Yeah, it's nuts.
It's a great inclusion of, yes, these things exist as well. You know, they probably exist just in this small region of the waters.
Yeah,
and
this is where they dwell.
Yeah.
You're not going to encounter sirens all over the place. This is the siren land.
Yeah, it's another video game moment to overcome. It's brilliant. I really love it, and I do appreciate the way Christopher Nolan did depict it as you have just described it to me now. It is great, and what Odysseus has described is probably only unique to him.
Exactly. He's likely one of the only people in the world that has ever
But if someone else
listened and survived.
if someone else tied themselves to the boat, to the pillar, and heard, they could describe something else entirely different.
Yeah.
You know, it could be unique to them.
Exactly. It could be, what do you desire most?
Would you have wanted to listen to and get tied up? Yeah, absolutely. It'll be worth the experience, because, and I'll be the first. It's like, there's a bit of selfish in Odysseus, I think. Do you know?
Yeah. He does kind of want to also be...
He wants a
hero,
bit of
almost,
he does have a hero complex. He really does, but he still maintains his humble nature. Do you know? So, what's the crack with Calypso?
Don't ask me. I don't know.
I love that he has Charlize Theron in this. She got the and in the credits. Want to see her again in more Christopher Nolan movies.
That was something I was going to ask you at the end, is that Christopher Nolan is well known for never really working with his main actor again after they've been the main actor. But he is well known for having his supporting cast go through and then eventually becoming the main actor. So who in the supporting cast would you like to see feature as a main character in a future Christopher Nolan film? I think Charlize Theron is a great choice for that. Yeah. I would also just like to see a Christopher Nolan film with a female lead. Yeah. Because he's never done that.
That would be good. He's worked with Anne Hathaway now 3 times. Matt Damon 3 times. This is the first time Matt Damon's now a lead character, the billing character. I wonder if he was first to be offered a role. I can't imagine he would have offered it to the likes of Christian Bale or Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, well, he's not worked with either of them since.
Yeah, I suppose since, yeah.
The only one that you could make the argument for is obviously Christian Bale, because not only was he Batman, slightly different circumstances, but he did also work with him in The Prestige.
Early years, he's not done it again. Like, he's not, I don't think he'll ever go back to John David Washington, but he's gone back to Robert Pattinson a few times now. Could see Robert Pattinson being a lead? Yeah. That man's climbing to Olympus and then above. Calypso, like, was she a human? Was she an immortal? Was she her own version of a witch? Is she a god? I don't know, but considering how everyone that he met on his journey was some kind of, like you said, they're a mythological being, I would think that Calypso is also that. Like, she has access. Like, when you look at there's some expansive shots of where they were together. Like, it's a desert next to the sea. Like, so all they have are this lotus plant. How's she getting her nutrients? Like, I mean, they fish and that, but like the lotus flower, like, it's got some kind of magical property where he forgets who he is, and that's what keeps him there for so long. Yeah. So I would have to think that she knows. There's something more to it. I obviously googled it. It's like she's offered him immortality for him to stay, but he denies it because he has a wife. Yeah. So she must be some kind of immortal being then. If she's offering him immortality. But she's not offering him that. if anything, I know she was selfish in her own right, but she helps him remember. She helps him recall his memories and remember who he is. And she does actually kind of, like, if not helps him, but lets him go home. Do you know? Like, she is... I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of her, of them just living, rather than just passive 2-second shots of them in an entire montage, you know?
Apparently in the book, he has a child with both Calypso and Circe. He's there on Circe's island for about a year, and then he's with Circe for 6 or 7 years, and has a child with both of them.
Yeah, could do without the Circe child, but maybe the child with Calypso could definitely be something more.
Would make sense.
Yeah, it would. Maybe a child died, who knows? But yeah, she was a good inclusion. And then, what do you make of Zendaya?
So that's what I wanted to ask. That's the thing I asked you to remind me about. And because there's such an emphasis on the gods in this, and at the end we find out through the sacking of Troy that there was a girl played by Zendaya that was killed.
Beheaded.
Was that Odysseus's manifestation of his guilt that she would then be perceived as Athena, because she was killed in the temple of Athena? Is that girl just a manifestation of his guilt and then portraying Athena, or is it that girl was Athena and he killed her and now he's haunted by her? Because I kind of like both. I don't know which interpretation I am coming down on, because there's such an emphasis throughout where with Tom Holland's character he said anyone could be a god. I do like just that idea that there are gods walking amongst these characters. It's not likely that we're going to bump into them, but it just so happened that, yes, Athena was in Troy that night.
Yeah.
I like both interpretations. I kind of like
There's also...
I like that one more than I like that she was a manifestation of his guilt more, I think. I just like the inclusion of that there were gods walking amongst them.
Perhaps that girl she is a priestess. Perhaps after she was killed, Athena then took her form and then visited and haunted Odysseus.
Yeah.
So that's another variation of Athena visiting him. David, I like them all, so I'm not going to choose.
Yeah, I kind of like that it could be nearly all of these and none of them.
I like knowing that it's definitely one of them.
Yeah.
I don't want to know which one it is, because there's so much beauty and power in each depiction.
Do you know what it's like?
What?
In Furiosa, how did Furiosa kill Dementus? I like to know that she did something, but not know exactly which it is, and I like that I have all these versions of what it could be.
Yeah. And
depending on the day, I'll decide.
Yeah, you watch the movie one day and you can think he's just imagining her. And then 6 months from there, you watch it again. That's actually Athena visiting him. Or that was Athena the whole time. Like, that was Athena in human form and she was killed. And it's like, I'm going to follow this one for a while and see what the crack is with him.
Yeah.
Because I could maybe see some guilt in him just as I lost my head, you know? So I really like that. I like that she didn't share any screen times with her husband, Tom Holland, because, like, you know...
She only acts against Matt Damon.
Pretty much. I like that. I like that she's there. There's no explanation of her just being there. She's just there. And then all of a sudden he's talking to her. And she's talking to him. And very powerful stuff, honestly. The more I talk about it, the more I like it. And I didn't realise, like... I did think, what's this movie really like? It's about Matt Damon trying to get home, alright? We've seen and done it before. But what's the crack here with home itself, with Ithaca? Yeah. You know, like, how is this
like, there's a whole other plot that's going on that we haven't even touched on, really.
So how's that going to play an impact into this? About 45 minutes of the...
It's a lot. It's a good portion of it, in fairness. Like
a good chunk of the last movie where it's like, oh, this is what we're feeding into. We've been following these characters here back home that play consequences and a conclusion to this, you know, like, and I love this, right? There's no spite or hate in Agamemnon. He gave this advice to Odysseus: when you get home, don't expect warm welcomes and flowers and roses, you know.
Yeah, be wary.
Yeah, go home, go hide under the shadows, try and observe what your home is like for now, and reintegrate yourself through there. Like, Agamemnon told him that. The quote-unquote villain of that portion of the movie.
Yeah.
The villain of Troy told him that. And that creates the reason why we have this latter 45-minute arc. The
third act,
The third act, pretty much, where we're not dealing with gods now. This is
all men, yeah.
This is the kind of things we'd expect from the likes of Gladiator.
Yeah.
And I love that so much. It's like Odysseus has dealt with some gods, right? He's a seasoned veteran right now.
He's gods and monsters, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. So I am so delighted to say I love this plot of the movie. This
portion of it, yeah.
The third act is so thrilling. It's probably one of the main reasons why I want to go back to watch it again.
Yeah.
All right. And then the whole plot between Anne Hathaway and Tom Holland and Robert Pattinson, the B plot of the story.
Yeah.
Essentially.
I thought that all three gave such phenomenal performances. I know we spent so much time talking about Matt Damon, but the three, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, and Tom Holland, all gave stellar performances that you truly believe that these people are getting on each other's nerves, that they've been there for so long.
Yeah.
But Tom Holland really stood out to me as like, okay, this guy...
You can act.
Yeah. Fair play.
Time to start picking your project very well. Do you know, I think Timothée Chalamet would be too big for Tom Holland's
You're right,
role.
yeah, for in this movie, yeah.
But now this is elevated Tom Holland's presence so well. Like, he's like, you're going to now watch Spider-Man Brand New Day, not Tom Holland, but an incredible actor. Do you know? Let's see him start doing other projects that are not like typical generic IPs. You know? You know, he's gone through that phase. He's luckily survived it. He can proceed onwards. Robert Pattinson,
a great villain, just a great
always a great villain. This is like, I've seen him play a villain off Timothée Chalamet. I seen him play a villain of Tom Holland again in a Netflix movie, both Netflix movies, and now here he is a villain again, a swine. Like,
I'd say he's a weasel.
A weasel, exactly. A coward. How many times did he say, I wanted to go to Troy, but I was denied, and I was told to look after you, and here I am trying to fulfill my duty. Dude, he plays him so well. Do you know why he's the worst version of Mickey from Mickey 7? And I have to remind myself that you are Batman.
Yeah. Because he's so different from who Batman is. Even in that final fight scene, like when your man is putting stuff through the floor, like the weapons, like he's like, the spears, the shields. Like, he's directing people to go get he's not actually participating in the fight himself.
Hiding behind a pillar as
exactly. Well. He's just like commanding other people to go and do it, like trying to get his bidding done, as opposed to him actually actively participating in it.
And what ranking does he have over these other guys? They don't work for him. They're just equal suitors, just as the next guy. He's just leading the charge. Man, I didn't realize how foreshadowing was going to be done when it comes to stringing the bow.
Oh man.
And the axe is all laid out and shooting the arrow. Like the first time we see Odysseus string a bow at the start is when we see his face, and he strings it so well. It's like, oh yeah, that's how you have to stretch it one side and then you have to stretch it over. Easy peasy, I can do it. All the lads fail, and it's like a one chance go. And Anne Hathaway said, I'll marry anyone who can string Odysseus' bow. I'll do it. And like, Robert Pattinson, he's obviously weasel enough. There's no point.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try.
I'm not going to try.
I'm smarter than you for this, yeah.
But he still stands above the beggars, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I love the impact of the beggars in this movie. Like, the beggars are like, they're treated as unfortunately how some homeless folks are treated. But they're just beneath their feet, you know?
Do you know what I love about the bow? Two things, actually. Two things I love about the bow.
What two things do you love about
First of all, the motif. Anytime that the bow comes in,
it's like a song.
It's like a song, and the final, him plucking the bow, is the final note within that motif. It's like do 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 dum. You're like, oh yeah, it's like it sends a shiver up my spine. But when Odysseus strings the bow, what does he do? He plucks it. And what did he always do previously? He plucks it because he wants to give his prey a chance to know he's there. And he does that right before he starts killing all the other suitors in the room. And I'm like, yeah, these guys are just as much prey as the boar is, or as the deer is, or anything like that. I just thought it was
do you know
great.
What I really do love in a good movie that feels like it's earned it? A good fuck yeah moment.
That is it, yeah.
The guy who played Dr. Dre in Straight Outta Compton, he was worse on his own way compared to Robert Pattinson, and he just, he talked down to John
Leguizamo, yeah.
And then Odysseus shot the arrow like it was nothing to him. Like he could have done it with one arm.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone looks in awe after a brief cheer. And he looks back at him and he says, "You're Odysseus." And boy, I was no more satisfied than a hungry boy getting fed his chicken when the arrow went through his throat.
Mm-hmm.
He was the first one to go, and Jesus, that was like, I sat up in my seat and was like, fuck yes.
Yeah.
That was a real fuck yes moment. And then Odysseus took the hood off, and he's like Robin Hood in this moment, right?
Yeah.
This is a good, like, archetype of a Robin Hood character. He just starts unleashing arrows left, right, and center, and everyone here, and he takes them all on his own. It's no like the odd servant loyal to Odysseus here. No, it's just him.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Holland eventually contributes by taking out your man upstairs.
Yeah, one guy.
One guy, exactly. And he's just so quick and efficient. Like, this guy defied the gods and survived. No wonder he's going to outcome this. And like, it was such a thrilling moment. Like this, the music used in this scene was the music used in the sacking of Troy, the Trojan horse scene. It was so well done. It's a great action scene. Everything was coming together so well. And man, I just loved it. And then he's like Boromir at the end. He's got arrows in him. He's got a spear in him, and he's after killing Robert Pattinson. He's like, yeah, you deserve this. And he goes to Penelope and like, wow, it's just like, I promised I'd come home. And I love that he didn't do the traditional thing of just, it's the hero's journey and he dies just after he comes home.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the case, and I love that little laugh. He's like, no. We'll be exiled. Like,
yeah.
Oh, thank God. Okay, yeah, because I really did think that, yeah, he was going to die in that moment, and it's that you almost got the victory. Your victory was that you did what you said you would do, but you don't actually get to relish in the victory of it all. But he still had one more thing to do, which was to go west and honor his men.
Do you know when they did introduce that element, chasing a forever ending, a forever sunset?
Yeah, I'm not sure the exact terminology, but yeah.
But as soon as I saw the image start of the movie, that's got to come back some way. It's a beautiful shot. It's a lovely moment. And I just love seeing that as well. And like, obviously Tom Holland becomes the ruler of Ithaca, and yeah, like this is how you got to end this movie. It's just so fucking beautiful. It's perfect. I really did love it. And Matt Damon, I've always liked Matt Damon. Do you know? I think I'm liking him a lot more in these years than I have in the past. But this is probably one of my favorite Matt Damon roles. Like,
that's fair. Yeah.
I like him compared to every Bourne movie. Nah, like Bourne's just like a whatever movie. But this here, like, all of a sudden he's elevated to a more respectable actor. Do you know? Like, I'm delighted Matt Damon got this role for the Odyssey. Like, he showed up to work, both acting ability and physicality. I really did love it, and I hope it doesn't mean that he's not going to work with her anymore. Do you know? Because he's climbed the ranks in terms of his screen presence in the Christopher Nolan movies.
I would like to see Christopher Nolan break that streak and have him back, even if it's just in a supporting role. That's fine. Yeah, you don't have to have the lead actor be a lead actor in the next film. Yeah.
Cillian Murphy is a very signature one. He was always a supporting character until he did Oppenheimer, which is just perfect casting, I say. And yeah, there's some other, like, this is, who do you think had a bigger cast, this or Oppenheimer?
This.
You think?
Yeah.
Oppenheimer had a lot of names though.
Yeah, but I think that this movie has a lot more star power. The Oppenheimer may have had more names total, but this one has a lot more star power right now.
Yeah, and there's a lot of names here as well that are first time Christopher Nolan appearances.
Yeah.
Do you know who I really loved? John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo was surprisingly, a great addition. Yeah. And what was the last big John Leguizamo movie?
Can't remember.
Or even role that he was in. Was he in one of the John Wick movies?
Yeah, he had a short extended cameo in the first two.
There you go.
That's it.
But I couldn't name anything other than Sid from Ice Age.
I really thought he was so good in this.
Yeah.
Like, to see him young in the when they were in younger years, when Ulysses chose his dog, and then all of a sudden he's growing old with him. I really just like seeing him there. Like, I want to see him back in more Nolan movies. Do you know what was really sad to see? Kratos. For Kratos no more. Ryan Hurst, Tom Holland's mentor, whose name was Mentor. I would have liked to have seen him see I love that he got to see Odysseus returned.
He recognized him, yeah.
Yeah, like a god coming from the skies, helping his passing. I really like seeing him there. I like he had some screen time. Just not nice to see that he injured himself and now he can't play Kratos any longer, which is just shit. There's another name here as well. His name is, I forget his name, but he was recast. The actor who played John Blackthorne in Shogun was cast as the guy who was throwing the spears down through the holes. It's just funny. I just take roll with me with this one.
I don't know anyone you're talking about, so I'm just like, okay. It doesn't bother me if someone's recast if I don't know who anyone involved.
He shared billing lead screen time with Hiroyuki Sanada.
Okay.
And look what his role would have been in the Odyssey. It's like actors will say yes to any role Christopher Nolan hires them in.
Yeah.
Like Mia Goth is in this movie. And I know she's there lingered throughout. But she's just a servant girl. She's Mia Goth and she's going to be a billing name in a Star Wars movie next.
Yeah. I think if you get offered anything in a Christopher Nolan film, then you say yes in the hopes that it'll lead to something major down the line. Like I would not be surprised if we're going to see an even bigger role for Himesh Patel in the next film.
I really like seeing him in here.
Yeah, I like him as an actor.
Yeah, I like.
I've liked him from EastEnders. I've liked him from all the way back in the day.
I suppose I only know him from yesterday, but
he was in Tenet as well.
He was in Tenet. With Robert Pattinson sharing scenes with him,
and he has a substantial role in this as well. He has like the first mate really of the crew.
He's there from the start to the finish. I like that he survived the giants in the silver armor. Like he nearly got killed there, and he was there throughout, which is really good to see. Really like that. Like he brings back some actors who are named and actors who are not as much named. But Himesh Patel, yeah, it's great. I think he's now cast in the X-Files reboot. So
okay,
as the main lead. Yeah, David, 5 stars.
I'd say 4 stars with the potential, 4.25 with the potential of going higher. But then again,
what's wrong with you?
I don't give 5 stars to a movie on my first watch. The last movie I did that to was Project Hail Mary, and the time before that was Dune Part 2.
And Dune Part 2 didn't get nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah, so I reserve my 5 stars for movies that I know are my all-time favourites. So that's not to say that the Odyssey can't go up, but I very rarely give a 5-star out the gate. That's just me though.
When Nolan announced this movie that he's doing the Odyssey, did you think, why this of all things?
No
I
don't think about things like that.
I did.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah, I did. I was wrong. I was so wrong.
Yeah,
very wrong.
I don't know why you would think why. It's like,
because it's a Christopher Nolan movie, or because it's
no, but just like when someone says, oh yeah, we're going to do an adaptation of this, is like, okay, why? Like, why not? I saw a trailer today, right? And it was for Matchbox, which is a John Cena-led movie about Matchbox toys. Essentially, Hot Wheels. And I went, why? And then I thought to myself, yeah, why not? Who cares? I'm not going to watch it. It's not for me, but sure. You say why? I say, why not?
John Cena in a Christopher Nolan movie. That'll be something worth watching.
Could be huge.
It could be massive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's my fix.
Have you got a recommendation before we let the people go?
Yeah, I'm going to I'll recommend Obsession.
Obsession, good pick.
Obsession,
good pick.
I'll recommend that, yeah.
I'll recommend The Return, which is a Ralph Fiennes movie that came out 2 years ago, 2024, and it's about essentially the third act of this film. It's Odysseus' return to Ithaca, and it's basically the whole third act over the course of the movie.
So no gods and monsters?
No gods and monsters, just The Return. Okay, Brian, go fuck yourself. How about that? It's just my recommendation. Sorry about that. Sorry, I'll go fuck myself. Who's got the lube? I'll go fuck myself. Thanks very much for listening.
I'm sorry I said that. I honestly said that because I forgot about this one thing I wanted to bring up. And
so you just went to see, you shat on my recommendation.
Yeah.
What would you like to bring up?
Sean Bean as Odysseus.
Oh yeah. Anyway, thanks so much for listening. We have new episodes every single Wednesday, as well as another podcast, which is Saturday Morning Cartoon Club, with new episodes on that on the last Saturday of every month. So if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to us here. Make sure you're subscribed to us there. Following us on all of our social medias, which can be found in the links down below. This podcast is brought to you by Another Happy Studios, so make sure to check out all of the other podcasts in our network. Those can be found at anotherhappystudios.com or on the Another Happy Studios YouTube channel. That's all from us here at Talking Picture Podcast. Brian, any final words?
Do you feel insulted?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Eh.